Hey, FlimsyLunchTray here, and welcome to Warships for our Wednesday edition video. And I'm going to straight up apologize that today I was planning to do an Armored Warfare video. So for my Armored Warfare audience, I apologize, but I invite you to stick around if you only watch for the Armored Warfare videos, because this is going to be a battle which I break 2 records in here in World of Warships. So you're just gonna have to see as the battle goes on, unless I've kind of given some things away in the title of today's video. But let me talk about Roon. Okay, so we just featured the Roon, Tier 9 German heavy cruiser. I think it was this past Friday, Saturday. And I didn't make this abundantly clear. Roon is not an AA Cruiser here in World of Warships. Okay, so to help you understand how much Roon is not an AA Cruiser here in World of Warships. So currently, if you exclude decorative ships at Tier 9, so this is only including the tech tree in premium Tier 9 cruisers that you can buy in World of Warships, there are 29. Okay, I'm going to actually say 28 because they made a second version of Roon CLR. So both Roon CLR and Roon are on this spreadsheet. But in terms of AA strength, continuous AA strength 0 to 100, calculated from the ranges in DPS, damage per second, of all auras, there are 28 Tier 9 cruisers, tech tree in premium cruisers in the game, excluding Alaska Black, Azure Lane Azuma, and Roon CLR. Roon ranks 22 on this list, okay? Or I should say 28 because I excluded Roon CLR. But in terms of the strength, Roon is in the bottom of the pack for AA strength, anti-aircraft strength here in World of Warships. What I do in this game, I shouldn't be able to get away with, okay? Now I'm gonna have some ideas and thoughts of why it is I get away with what I get away with in this game, and I'm gonna explain to you some decision making I make, and also some strange behavior you're going to see. Okay, so since the video on Roon on Friday, I was finishing up my grind and getting more experience to purchase Hindenburg, okay? So that was the main reason I was taking Roon out, and Concealed Maneuvers is a wonderful place to do that. It's often you can get sometimes you can get bots. There are bots in this game mode, both of which on our team already dead. There's technically 3 on each team. Okay, so you can get really good experience grinding here in Concealed Maneuvers, and there even hasn't been a lot of carriers, actually, oddly enough, here in Concealed Maneuvers. So it's been just a lot of surface ships fighting with some bot subs, because Wargaming is making sure to put bot subs through. Okay, second reason why you see me sitting in a minefield doing nothing right now, not even using my ASW, my depth charges, is because I'm testing potential damage. I'm testing to see if mines contribute to potential damage. Now, to show you how much I've been trying to test this, I've been playing for the past 2 days, excluding today, as I record this video on Tuesday. So Sunday, Monday, I spent all my time playing Concealed Maneuvers when I was on, and I didn't get any battles. I only had 1 battle with an Essex, and he was on the enemy team, okay? Or on my team, excuse me. So now I finally have an Essex on the enemy team who's dropped mines on me. So now I'm testing potential damage. Now potential damage is that number in the top right corner, 3rd row down. So it kind of looks like a shield, and it says 197,132 right now. That is potential damage. Now that number is going up right now because both the CVs are attacking me. And so I was joking, well, I was being serious but also joking. I wanted the CVs to leave me alone so I could just test the mines here. And so I'm waiting for them to leave so I can test the mines, see if they give you potential damage. And I can't do that when they're attacking. Okay, so 245,000 potential damage. Now my goal here is to drive next to a mine. And I'm like, how close do I actually have to get? And I decide I'm just gonna go hit this mine in front of me, and potential damage doesn't go up. Okay, so I'm like, so it doesn't seem that mines in World of Warships contribute to potential damage, which I think is a bit odd because it is technically a weapon in World of Warships. It's definitely will do damage to your ship if you hit it, right? So to me, if you dodge and avoid mines the same way you maybe dodge and avoid torpedoes, you should be able to get potential damage. Now, I'm assuming the reason why World of Warships and Wargaming didn't do that is imagine players all hopping into concealed maneuvers, farming potential damage from combat missions so that they complete those duties much quicker, okay? So that's what I'm assuming has happened here. So we're back up to 266,000 damage, potential damage because of the torpedoes. And now we're just sailing right along here, okay? So I tested it again. Nothing's happening, so I start going ahead and use my depth charges to just go ahead and incapacitate the mines past that I've already sailed past here, okay? So from the testing, potential damage from sea mines is not a thing. So I had to share that with some people I was talking with in another Discord server. So it's a bit unfortunate. To me, it makes sense that potential damage would, but in World of Warships, it's not, okay? This is how Wargaming has currently decided they're doing mines. So that's why we were sitting in the minefield for so long, in that we purposely left and sailed back into it. Okay, now we are gonna push up. We're gonna flip A, and I don't think I'd realized quite at this point that I had shot down 45 planes and a non-AA cruiser and a tier 9 German cruiser that doesn't even have a full AA range. Most of your AA range in the high tier cruisers is 5.8. Roon is 5.2. And she ranks number 22 in terms of her damage per second of her aura in comparison to all other tier 9 cruisers in the game, excluding Azrael Azuma, Alaska B, and Roon CLR, the premium version of the ship with the cool skin. Okay. So, if you haven't noticed yet, these, not one, but both of these aircraft carrier players are terrible CV players. They're terrible. I shouldn't get away with over half the things I get away with here in playing against them. Both of them are terrible. Like, I actually, last night, so Monday night, when I had this battle, I went ahead and I sent this video into Jingles. Maybe he'll get a kick out of it, maybe he features it, I don't know. Regardless, I think it's amusing to watch whether he features it or not. Because of our end results and how this game goes, and just kind of being able to get away with what we get away with here in the game. So I sent it to Jingles, and I told him that I plan to feature the video on Wednesday, so that is another reason why we are not showcasing any Armored Warfare content today. So when you clear over 100 some mines, or unless we cleared the one minefield alone, you get a cleared ribbon, so that's the number 1 you see that just popped up. Now, I'll talk more about these aircraft players here in a minute, but for now, we've just gotten to the engagement. One of the things that drives me crazy about CV players, among all classes in the game, CV players have the worst map awareness in the game. Like, it's just garbage. Like, I don't know how many times I come across CV players who just don't pay attention to their mini-map, okay? The Roon has seen us, or sorry, the Roon, the Taiho, if that's how you pronounce it, has seen us sail towards his direction for the last several minutes, right? He sat there in, what, G1 for the last several minutes, not even like, hey, I'll live longer if I sail to a different part of the map. Roon is closing in. He might see my last located map position on the map. Number 2, the CV decides to rush a Roon. Beyond having these very lovely 2 and 3mm guns with really great high explosive and really good decent AP, and the torpedoes, decides to rush. A carrier decides to rush a player, a cruiser player, right? So he does the opposite of pretty much what most all CV players do. That, I mean, honestly, can be frankly very annoying. You know, when they're turned away, they're angled. and just leaving you in the dust, right? And they're angled and you can't get any pins, so you're just basically stuck with high explosive. Okay, this CV player rushes us. Okay, that's just illustrating how bad that CV player was. Now this CV player, I did look him up. Okay, he doesn't really play World of Warships at all. He's been a player in the game for I think over 2 years now, but he just doesn't play the game. Okay, he's Wargaming's ideal customer that has more premium ships than tech tree ships, and he only has 2 tech tree ships. Okay, just saying that. So I can't really be harsh, okay, on that CV player. He probably was like, hey, new game mode, I want to test it, and I have access to this CV. And did he even have a skilled commander on the ship? Did he even invest in upgrades on the for the ship? I have no clue. Anyhow, meantime, St. Louis, St. Louis, he is also very questionable. Okay, he leaves us on 3,000 hit points and decides, instead of shooting a German cruiser that I can kill, I'm gonna shoot the Stalingrad instead. Thus allowing us to live and getting our last repair party off and being able to live longer in the game. Okay, now I don't know if it was this St. Louis player, or the player that just died, if that's the one who's crying in chat. I don't know, but he's going to be crying in chat a lot about what happens here. So, in the meantime of me explaining everything, we have shot down 104 planes. 104 planes. Not tier 8 CV planes, tier 10 CV planes. We have shot down 104 of. That is the most planes I've ever shot down in World of Warships, so that's one of the 2 records I'm going to break here in the game. Granted, it is in concealed maneuvers, okay? Different temporary battle type and testing out these new support CVs. I think my old record was 90, I think it was 94 in Massachusetts, and that was like a record I got 2 years ago. That was a very fun double CV randoms match. Anyhow, continuing on. Essex is coming back and striking both the Stalingrad and I. He perceives us as the threats, and we are the closest targets to him. You see we have a battleship that's been sailing up around the A line for a while now, dealing with the Moskva and Vermont pushing in. So CV is most likely just going to keep focusing us, but then I think he decides to drop one of our friendly CVs here. One of the things I like doing, which I'll tag at the end of this video, I had the Salem versus Malta match. Got pretty good views from that. You guys seem to really enjoy it. I love teasing CV players. Egging them on, teasing them that they'll keep striking me, okay? Now, for most CV players, and seeing how much low health I have, you want to focus off low health targets, give your team more of a chance, tip the points in favorable balance. So we're going to see if he decides to come back and focus this again or not. In the meantime, we get to use the islands to be able to get some shots in here on the Vermont. And our Taiho player is a very good CV player. He's doing a very good job playing the CV support role. Twice now he's dropped smoke for us. If you're wondering how smoke cloud magically appeared on me earlier, next to the island on the DF3, sorry, F3, but on that line DF3. It was him, and I didn't catch he was going to do that, or I would have probably just slew down into the smoke. So he's been being very kind in dropping smoke for us. Granted, now it's dissipating on us, but regardless, it's helped, okay? So he's playing much, much better than the Taiho player that we just killed. Now, meantime, Essex has dropped another minefield on us, so we are going to exit this minefield. I don't feel like having to deal with mines and continue to sail straight on. We have a Vermont that's going to be probably spotting us shortly once the Essex comes back, and we don't want to lose our maneuverability in Roon. We need our maneuverability and getting caught in minefield means we have no maneuverability. But between Stalingrad and I, we do take out the Vermont, which is great. We're out of the minefield completely. And here I'm letting the team know 106 planes shot down. And teasing the CV player, keep them coming, please. So we're going to push more back towards Bravo now. From the direction that the enemy CV planes are coming from, he's probably somewhere on like IJ89, I'm guessing. That he's just distanced himself greatly from the battle. Now, at this point, I'm very hungry to shoot down more planes, because I've never shot down this many planes in World of Warships before and facing actual players. So I'm going to sail back to get closer to Stalingrad so that he doesn't get all the fun. And keeping in mind, again, we only have a 5.2 kilometer AA range, where I think Stalingrad is 6 kilometers, maybe? I'm not entirely sure. I'd have to look at that again. I guess we can look at that now while we are talking. Stalingrad, which ironically enough, I just featured that ship yesterday. 6.6 kilometer AA range. I thought it was a little different. I couldn't remember. So he's got better AA. He has a defensive AA fire consumable, and his AA is definitely better than us in the Roon. So we're going to sail the edge of the smoke screen, but seeing how Essex is still just a little too far away, I decide, I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to slide out of the smoke screen here so I can get some more plane kills. Now, I'm thankful again for that Taiho player, because I asked for some smoke screen in the heat of the battle at A. So he's been very graciously giving me smoke since then. So we did compliment him for such good behavior. So now with the rocket planes coming in, you want to turn out from a rocket strike. When there's a torpedo, you want to turn out or in towards the attack. If it is a torpedo bomber strike, you want to turn in towards the attack or out away from the attack. You may notice throughout the battle when we've turned in, the torpedoes haven't had enough arming time, so we've hit the torpedoes but they did not do any damage, and that's because of the arming distance. So it's tends to be more favorable to turn in towards torpedo bombers. Now if they're dive bombers, not skip bombers, but dive bombers, you want to be broadside, because most of the time the ellipse circle that dive bombers get, it's more of a vertical circle, meaning they're likely to land more hits on you. So it's best to be broadside when there are dive bombers coming in on you, okay? And I explained that really well, and you'll see it really well in the Salem versus Malta video if you catch that after this battle. Now this Essex player is also a really bad CV player. So I think both of them they didn't really seem to know what they were doing, and as many strikes as both of them have done and not done any damage to me just tells me that they don't play CVs. They're not even decently good at them, okay? So that's why we're able to get as much plane damage and plane kills as you'll see at the end of the game. Now, another reason why I want more of these planes to attack me is for base XP. More planes you shoot down, the greater the best XP, meaning my grind for Hindenburg will end much sooner, as I'm taking a blue plus 800% XP bonus here on the ship. So I should have switched to AP, but I was more focused on not letting Essex kill me by the time the game came to an end. So unfortunately, we didn't get to pick him up after killing the other CV, but it is what it is. So we're going to go through the post-battle results. 124 planes shot down in a cruiser that is not an AA cruiser by any means or any stretch of the imagination. So this was absolutely hysterical. I was laughing to see I got 59,000 XP with just the blue economic ship XP bonus. The other record we're going to break is I've never gotten over 3,989 base experience. In terms of what it shows you here in the game, I've had other XP records through the wild stats and numbers, and just seeing what you get on the screen at the end of the battle, that was insane. So you can see the breakup. We shot down 30 fighters, 18 attack aircraft, 43 bombers, and 33 torpedo bombers with, 221,000 AA damage. Now you can get more of that if you play ops like Hermes. You can get into 300, 400, and 500,000. But this was a pretty crazy battle. And here you can see the credits and XP with premium account here and concealed maneuvers. So I couldn't resist in showcasing this video to you guys today, and I hope you really enjoyed it, but I also hope you didn't lose any brain cells from watching both of these enemy CV players. I don't mean to come across as if I'm very much like stat shaming him or something. The other one had his stats hidden, and the other one just hasn't played the game. The first one we killed, he hasn't played the game. He only has like, I think, over 100 battles and randoms in a couple of co-op battles, okay? So he's a newbie, complete new to the game, a new player. So he's just figuring out the game, so can't really be harsh on him at all by any means. He's just a new player into the game. But when you have two tier 10 CVs attacking a tier 9 cruiser that has terrible AA, very poor AA in the game, and able to get this kind of result, it's mind-boggling. Like, I don't know how else to phrase that. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and also I'd be curious to know if you think mine should be able to give potential damage in the game. I mean, this is of course still in testing, so maybe Wargaming changes their mind, but I think that potential damage should be given if you sail close to a mine and it doesn't detonate and you don't run into it with your ship. I feel like you should be rewarded as a player for navigating the minefield in World of Warships, beyond just clearing with the depth charges, but also in terms of potential damage. So if you liked today's video, give a thumbs up. If you didn't, give a thumbs down. Subscribe if you do want to see more. If you ever subscribed, thanks so much. I really appreciate it, and we'll catch you next time. Take care.